Hi, this is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Radar, and I'm thrilled to be here today with Grace Van Patten talking about Nine Perfect Strangers. How are you, Grace?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
It's a lot of fun to watch you on the show. How did you become attached to this project?
Oh, I just got a good old audition, and I remember reading the character blurb for Zoe and thinking it was the most in-depth character description I've ever read, and I was so hooked from that instant in Zoe and her journey, and it only got more and more intense love, and I read the book and thought it was so amazing. Leanne writes characters so beautifully, and then it was just as beautifully translated into a script, and now it's out in the world. It's crazy.
Were you familiar with her other books like Big Little Lies before hearing about this one?
Yeah, I hadn't read Big Little Lies, but I had seen the show and was such a big fan, and was so excited to work with the same team.
Do you think that this show is ultimately pretty similar to that one?
I don't think so. I mean, in terms of having a lot of strong characters, all with very distinct journeys and different traumas. I guess it's similar in that way, but in terms of subject matter, it's very different from anything I've ever seen, really.
I'm sure. And I'm curious what the relationship in real life is between the members of the Marconi family. What is it like working with your on-screen parents?
It was amazing. I really love them so much and have been such am such big fans of both of them. And it was so helpful being able to talk to them throughout the whole process, but really before, we would just have these conversations that would go on forever that were so in depth, and we would just talk about the family dynamic really specifically, and talk about what were our family traditions and what were we like before this traumatic event happened, and how did it change us in these specific ways, and what do we want from this retreat. And we really just talked about it a lot, and it helped so much, and also just help us bond as a family too.
Of course. And what about Hal, who plays your imaginary dead brother?
Al is amazing. He's from Australia, so I felt like I had a local on my side. And he's so talented, and I can't wait to see what he does with his career.
Absolutely. And there's, of course, such a big ensemble, and you do get to spend a lot of time with Luke's character, which is interesting because there's definitely a big age gap there, but he's gay, so there's no like sexual tension. How do you feel about that relationship?
I love that relationship so much. It warms my heart, and it's so unexpected. They cannot be more opposite as human beings, and they're going through such different emotions and trauma at the time, and they just connect on this deep level, and they're really able to open each other up in a way that no one else is capable of in their lives. And the first time you see either of them really, but especially Zoe, get vulnerable is with Lars in the sweat lodge. And I think that's a real turning point for her in the story, because up until that point, I think she's really held it all in, and for the sake of her parents. And she's finally able to start analyzing her own feelings and look within herself.
Yeah, and it's such a big cast. Is there anybody that you wish you could have worked with more, but your arcs just didn't really collide?
I wish all of them. It's interesting because I was just with the family, with the Marconis the whole time, except for the big group scenes, and then I would have some fun scenes with Lars. But the group scenes felt like summer camp. It was so much fun. Everyone is so hilarious, and it was a good relief after having a day of intense Marconi family drama.
And I know that there are other limited series like Big Little Lies and The White Lotus that are intended as one season like this one. Without giving anything away, do you think there's an opportunity there could be more Nine Perfect Strangers in the future?
I have no idea. I hope so. I really don't know anything, but I feel like it leaves it open for it to kind of go anywhere. So there is opportunity for it, I guess.
And what was most challenging for you to connect to about your character?
Um, I mean, just in general, what she's going through, I can't even imagine. And it, in order to attempt to connect to her, I did a lot of reading on grief, and especially this one memoir called "Standing on My Brother's Shoulders" by Tara J. Law, who had gone through a very similar experience. Her brother, who was her best friend, died by suicide, and she talks about it in such detail and in such a brave, beautiful, vulnerable way. And reading that really helped me.
Do you think you would ever go on a retreat like this in your own life?
I mean, I always say if Nicole Kidman is running it, yeah, I'll sign me up. um, but I don't know. I'm a little hesitant after this show, of course.
And you are traveling to another sort of faraway, mysterious place in Mayday, which is coming out soon. Can you preview that film a little bit?
Yes. Mayday. I actually find Anna, my character in Mayday, to be very similar to Zoe in a way where they are very lost when you meet them, and they really come out the other end of it. And this Mayday is another story of a young girl kind of just finding her inner strength and power to move on. And I'm really excited for everyone to see it, and it's going to be in theaters, which is crazy. I haven't been to one of those in a while, so I'm very excited.
That's great. And you also have another TV show coming up on Hulu called Tell Me Lies. What can you share about that?
Yes, Tell Me Lies. I'm very, very excited for. It's also going to be with Hulu, and it's also based off of a book following this very toxic relationship over the course of 8 years, and just the addiction of it. And it's a really great character study of these two people in a relationship, and it has a little bit of everything, which I'm very, very happy about.
Do you have a preference for TV over film or the other way around?
No, as long as it's a good character with good people, I'm in.
Well, you've played a lot of great characters. Is there any type of character that you're just itching to play or be cast at some point?
I'd love to do a comedy. It's been a lot of sad girls lately, so I would love to laugh a little bit.
I'm sure. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you so much.
And I hope everybody will watch Nine Perfect Strangers on Hulu.
Yes, me too.